Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome in for the walk and talk. Thank you for being up this morning and being a part of this. It is now Friday. Today is the 19th of September. The year is 2025. I'm coming to you live from up here in Maryland. Let me get my walk started. Thank you for being here for this morning. Thank you guys for being a part of what we've done so far this year. It's been a long year. It's been an amazing ride. Achieved a lot. We've come a long way. I just want to make sure that we're ending out this year right. And right now, this end of the year process, this last few days of the year, is about being intentional, getting started on next year. And let's figure out some things to not carry in the next year. Let's talk about some things we're not going to do next year, the way we're not going to live. And I usually spend my time talking about the things we are going to do. We're normally on here and we start with positivity. We start with being upbeat, direct, and caring. We start with determination, discipline, and devotion. Today, we're going to cover all of those things, but today we're going to start with what not to carry in the next year. What things we need to clean up and remove from our life. Because you have to understand, right now, your life is killing you. And as strange as it may sound, it is. And we're not just talking about, oh, you have a tough job. We're not just talking about you're living a hard way. We're talking about your life killing you, people. Those decisions that you're making and the paths that you're choosing, they're killing you. They're killing your opportunities, and they're all within the patterns of behaviors that you accept. If we are not acting with intention and paying attention, we are allowing our lives to kill us. From the things that we accept, to the things that we avoid, to the things that make us comfortable to the point that we feel like we no longer want to get up and move. It is how our life is killing us. And right now, your life could be killing you. As you check in, people, do me a favor. Let me know where you're checking in from, what time of day it is, where you are. I'm up here in Maryland. It is now 4:35 in the morning. Thank you for stopping by, being a part of the walk and talk. Welcome to this wonderful journey. Let's take it together this morning. Let's get our mind together. Doesn't matter where you are, what time of day it is, morning, noon, night. I want to welcome you in. I want you to be prepared today to make some changes, to take some steps, to do some things designed to see you move and grow. Welcome in. What is that? Braylon, welcome. Thank you for being here. Good morning. Again this morning, we want to approach the day, we want to attack it. We want to live with discipline, determination, and devotion. We want to understand that it takes us being engaged in our lives in order for us to live, not just be alive. And for so many of us, our life is killing you. It's killing us. And we want to figure out how to stop it, how to do better. We're going to cover that this morning. I apologize if the audio is a little broken up today. It is windy and my microphone is being replaced. So outside, it's gonna sound a little bit like I'm outside. This is the view from the top of the hill, everyone. Thank you for being up this morning. As always, when you check in, let me know where you're checking in from, what time of day it is where you are. I'm up here in Maryland, and today is gonna be a good day. It is indeed going to be a beautiful day. So, as we get started, people, I must remind you that everything we do here is about positivity. When we discuss discipline, when we discuss growth, investing, understanding about finances, knowing about our future, planning our future, living with intention, all of these things are positive. All of these things are intended to open up opportunities for growth and development within ourselves, within our community, and within others. 3:30 a.m. in Chicago. Welcome in, Chicago. Thank you for being here. And we're going to learn today what we mean when we say your life is killing you. How is it doing it? How do we stop it? I think one of the biggest things we have to understand is that when we go out and we start living our life, we have to actually live it. There's a difference between living and just being alive. And for so many people, and for such a long time, it has been okay and acceptable to just be alive. Like, oh, I'm just trying to make it, man. You're just alive. There's already been a cap. There's been a challenge. There's been a level of complacency and requirement set in your life where this is about as far as you're going to go. And you're just trying to not lose ground from where you are. So it's not about growth or development. It's just about surviving. What is this comment? So thank you very much for being here again. So what does it mean when we say that we're going to actually live our life? Well, all of these things that we look at and we say we want to do that we don't take action on doing, they're killing us. Not just killing momentum, but they're killing our opportunities. They're killing us spiritually, mentally, emotionally. We're dying because we've accepted things that we should have intentionally done differently. We've accepted our own shortcomings, our own mistakes. We've made the point of accepting that the opportunities are limited to the circumstances and the environment that we're in, and we have to change that. Because if you're refusing to change that, your life will continue to kill you. It is without a doubt that as we go along this path and we allow for outside forces to dictate and direct our life, that our life will continue to kill us, because the things that we don't pay attention to and that we don't put into our intentional steps in our path will continue to be roadblocks. They'll continue to be hurdles. They'll continue to be challenges. And the only way for us to rectify that is by us becoming aware of and taking steps to be involved in our own development, to be a part of our own existence, to stop being passengers in our own life, stop being role players in someone else's life, or to continue to kill you. This isn't about income level. This isn't about education level. This isn't about background. This isn't about where you live. This is about how you think and how you behave. It is driven by mindset. And if you do not possess a resistance mindset, and what I mean when I say a resistance mindset is a mindset that understands that you have to work out to grow. You have to apply resistance in order to become stronger. It happens all throughout nature. It needs to happen in your life. It needs to happen for fitness. There needs to be a resistance. There needs to be a pushback. We can't just stand in place and expect to grow. And this is how your life is killing you. 11:42 p.m. RKS, welcome in, brother. Good to see you back, man. Thank you for being here. So, in my own life, in my own time, I've come to understand that the things that I was unwilling to take action on, the things that I was unwilling to speak about, the things that were in my life that I didn't want to pay direct attention to and make changes would continue to erode my ability to grow, erode my ability to experience, to achieve, to live. When you don't get up and take action or take the next steps, you're bound to be stuck where you are. It's not a question of whether or not you'll be in that place. It is your predetermined position, and you've accepted it, and you are walking towards it. And it is killing you because you've given it away to someone else to be the determinator, to be the decision maker, to be the individual responsible for your outcomes and your achievements. Way to go, RKS. Keep going, man. Put in that work for real. At 69 subscribers, that means that you can go live now, man. Do one of these things. Pop one up. I'm going to see if I can catch you out there. And so how do we continue to allow ourselves to grow? How do we make ourselves into more? How do we grow our energy? How do we grow our lives? How do we grow and live on a daily basis? There has to be some intentional action. No, you're not going to wake up tomorrow and every decision you make be intentional. No, we're not going to find ourselves in a situation where we're doing everything with intention immediately. But we need to start taking steps. We need to start taking strides. We need to start to understand the things that we look at out in front of us. In order for us to get there, we need to just stop wandering through life, because everything that we do without intention is destroyed. It's by chaos. You have to love intentionally. You have to grow intentionally. When you do it with intention, it builds it. Anything that's not receiving attention, is not receiving the intentional attention to developing, is dying. You're destroying it. Whether it's your relationships, your finances, doesn't matter. If you're not paying attention to your money and you're not intentionally doing something with your money, then you're killing your future. It's that simple. You didn't get where you are by mistake. You didn't find your financial position by accident. It doesn't matter what you have in the bank account. It doesn't matter how many stocks you hold. There had to be intentional actions taking place. If you don't have intentional actions, then you are having secondary behaviors. And you're reacting to what everybody else has put in the world for you. And you're not living your life, you're trying to sustain. You have to take intentional actions. If you want to be somewhere, you got to get up and get there. And you're not making those decisions. Your life is killing you because you're not involved with it. You're not involved with making the decisions. You're not showing the discipline necessary to take the steps. Your finances are falling through the toilet because you haven't taken the moment to sit down and look at them. Because you don't want to look at this one missed payment you had. You don't want to take a look at what your finances actually look like and make those phone calls. You can't get to investing money because you don't pay attention to it. We have to change that. We have to become intentional with growing our wealth. Not by accident. Not by, oh man, I hope I get another check. Oh man, I hope I win the lottery. You have to also go out. If you want to win the lottery, at a minimum, you got to go buy a ticket. That's what's up, RKS. It sounds like it was 50-50 chance on that test. Like it was the toss-up. You're like, let's see what happens. We have to make sure, guys, that we're being intentional, that we're looking at our steps, our life, and we're taking the right actions. When it comes to your money, and we're going to talk about money a lot now. I'm going to talk about it a lot. I'm going to talk about it a lot more because there are specific things that we can discuss. But if you don't know what to do, you don't have an idea of how it works, and we have to start in the beginning, then you're not going to get there. I'm not going to be here to make excuses. I'm going to let you know from the journeys that I've been through, the experiences that I've had, that you have to make real decisions about your money. You got to make tough decisions. You got to be able to shoulder the responsibilities of the decisions that you make. Knight, thank you very much, RKS, for your lives with discipline. Speaking the truth, it took me 4 months to clear my system out. That's what I'm talking about, man. Not just clearing your system out, but clearing your life out. Clearing out the pattern of behaviors that lead to where you want to be. That lead you to the process of understanding that this isn't just the thing I'm doing, but this is the thing that's standing in the way of what I truly want to do. And if you accept those things, then they're going to definitely keep you from going where you want to go. When we talk about finances, this is the type of thing I'm talking about, RKS. We're talking about the discipline necessary to say, hey, I know in order for me to do the things I want to do in the current environment, until I set it myself, until I create it for myself, until I get big enough for these things to not apply to me, until I grow myself to that space, I have these certain things that I have to check off. You know, I ain't let nobody control me. They are controlling you, whether you want them to or not. If someone puts a standard in place and you can't meet that standard or that expectation, then you're not going to go where you want to go. Oh man, I'd just rather not be a part. You've been controlled. They're controlling you, whether it's the people who you're not choosing to take the advice from or follow the steps of in order to achieve your goal, or whether it's the addiction that you have that tells you you must act in a different way because the addiction must be fed, it must be supported at all costs, it must be first and foremost in every situation, then you're being controlled. Man, I quit this whenever I want, then quit. You ain't got to prove it to me. Prove it to yourself. I can stop spending money whenever I want. Then stop. You ain't got to prove it to me. Prove it to yourself. Start investing. Start growing. Otherwise, your life is killing you by your inability and refusal to actually take part in it. To actually be a part of the decision-making process. Starting to rain, guys. I'm going to step out of it for a second. So, guys, what does this mean for any actions that we take, any directions we want to travel in? We've got to be prepared to accept that for a large part, where we end up, not for a large part, entirely responsible for where we end up is us, right? It's where we need to make our steps and our moves towards moving forward. What is that, marky metal? Buy a home. I hear you, boss. I hear you. Buying a home is spending money. Don't spend money, invest money. One of the things that I share, and this is what I mean about your life is killing you, is in order for you to be intentional about something, you have to be aware enough to know that there is something that requires your attention. You have to know that. And then you have to focus on what it takes to get there. And then take the strides, do the things necessary to get there. CDL drivers are making $100,000 a year. I'm getting ready to make some real money hourly. Yes. But it's not just what you make of it. It's not just what you make, RKS. Remember what we were talking about back in the beginning when you were considering re-enlisting and going back into the Navy. And and we had a talk and it was like, hey, are you making this decision because you can't think of anything else to do? Or are you making this decision because this is what you truly want to do? Good morning. Welcome in. We have to understand when we're talking about living our own life and our life not killing us, we have to understand, we have to look at it and say, okay, am I making this decision because this is really what I want to do? Or is this just the thing in front of me that's just the next thing because of what I've done in the past? Is this just the next thing? So once we get there, we have to understand, okay, I'm doing this thing because this is something I wanted to do. And I'm making good money with it. Great. You've put yourself to work. Now put your money to work. It still takes discipline to do that. If you've been living off of $70,000 a year and you're about to move into a space where you have literally almost doubled your income, over an 8-month period, you've taken the behavior where the next day you're almost doubling the amount of money you made the day before. Your lifestyle doesn't need to double because your income has. However, your future has gotten significantly better in an instant because you're now in a space to be able to say confidently, I can invest intentionally in my future and put my money to work for me. And see, this is what happens so often, and this is what I mean about your life is killing you. We don't take actions with intentions. And because we fail to take actions with attention and intention, we just do things. And so our lifestyle will rise to meet our level of income. We're constantly finding ourselves in situations where it's like, oh, well, I make $100,000 a year. I need to have more house. I need to have more car. I need to eat out more. I need a $100,000 lifestyle. Why? You were just making $65,000 a year, $72,000 a year, $80,000 a year. Why do you all of a sudden need to increase your lifestyle because you've increased your income? It's because you're not living with intention. You're alive and you're reacting and you're trying to fit into the environment that others say you belong in. When we study and we figure out exactly what it is we're trying to do and how we want to do it, we take those actions and so many things change for us. So many things grow. So many things get better. We stop avoiding things. We stop letting comfort put us into a certain place. We talk about it always. Discipline. Discipline starts with repetition. You cannot be consistent at something to which you do not have the skill to perform. After you start with repetition, you must then be patient. You must be patient because the repetition is the process of learning how to implement and perform this thing. And patience is where you do the practice to get better and better at it on a regular basis. And once we've put in repetition and patience, we now have to move to the next level. And the next level is where we start to become consistent. When we've developed enough skill in this space to say, hey, I have an expectation of what my performance should be. And for everyone, for every time, for whatever it is you're doing, that expectation is going to be presented to you in a one-word question, and it's why. When you start doing something and your body starts to perform it, and your body, if you start doing push-ups every day, and your body starts to say, okay, I'm on board, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna do the push-ups. We're gonna do this because this is what we're doing. There's gonna get to a point where you start doing it and you start getting good at it, and your body's gonna ask, you are gonna ask, your existence is gonna ask you, why are we doing this? Why? If you do not have a why, you will not make it to consistency because it's just the thing you're doing. It doesn't have attention. It doesn't have intention. So it doesn't have anywhere to go. It's just random behavior. Random behaviors will always die. We talk about habit-forming behaviors and addictions, and we get there because every time you do it, you feel like it's helping you achieve something. You're achieving this thing, and then you go from achieving that thing to trying to get back, and that's how it becomes an addiction because we never get back to it. We never get back to achieving that thing, that first high. We never get that first high again. And so now the work that we're doing, that intention or that attention that we pay to that intention is no longer about even the first thing that it was about. It's about chasing that last thing. And our whole life becomes that. We have to break the cycle. We have to be aware that the steps and the actions that are required from us to get there will be required no matter what. No matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, no matter who we're visiting, no matter how we feel, we have to start taking steps to intentionally go where we're trying to go. Good morning, welcome in. Hey guys, it is now 4:59 in the morning, almost 5 a.m. We're on this walk and talk here on the East Coast of the United States. As you check in, let me know where you're checking in from, what time of day it is where you are. This refusal to pay attention and to take actions with intention are the things that are going to hold you back. The things that are going to keep you from being able to achieve the goals that you're looking for. If you're talking about your finances and you're looking at your money and you're like, oh man, I got so many bills. You do, because you're paying for so many things. How many of them can you live without? How many of them can you change? How many of them can you make a decision, I don't want it to be this way? A lot. Guess why? Because they're yours. You get to choose where you are. Are you living where you are and doing what you're doing because it's an expectation that someone else has set for you? It's a standard that someone else has decided is appropriate for you? Are we no longer being intentional in our day-to-day behaviors? Are we no longer asking why, seeking clarity and understanding for why things are the way they are? Because if we fail to do so, we're accepting. We're accepting whatever's happening. We're accepting how it's happening. Whatever is said, it's a part of what's happening out there. I want to make sure that we continue to do what's necessary to achieve our goals. I'm going to make sure that we continue to take the steps to reach our goals. If you're not intentional with your actions, if you're not intentional with your daily participation in your own life, then you're losing out. You're losing out on everything that is required for you to grow. You're losing out on all the opportunities to be who you want to be, to achieve the goals in the future that you're looking for. Guys, your life is killing you. And your life is killing you because you're standing by and you're idly allowing it to do so. Welcome in, Kicks. Good to see you, OG. Guys, when we're looking at our day-to-day activities and we're looking at what we're responsible for in our life, if you look over your life, you look over your daily actions, and you look at how many things happen in your life, either one by default, meaning you don't have any care one way or the other about it happening. You just get up and it's what you do because it's what you do. You only get up on the days when you gotta go to work. If you're out here and you're living and you only get up early on the days when you have to be to work, and when it's your day for you, you decide to sleep it away, you decide you're gonna spend it doing nothing, then we're not taking intentional actions. We're not living our life. We're living the life that someone else has dictated for us. And you don't matter enough to yourself to take care of yourself. Don't ask for other people to be more invested in you than you are in yourself. Don't ask for somebody else to go out and fight for you if you won't get up and fight for yourself. I have a niece, highly talented, great potential. And I hate the word potential because potential means that you have talents and skills that you are refusing to make the most of. You want to exhaust your potential. Stop walking around happy that you got potential. Potential stops being a good thing at 16. By 16, if people still telling you you got potential, you ain't doing something right. Walking around here, grown-ass people talking about, man, you got potential. You better not have no potential. You better not. You better have exhausted your skill set. And if you haven't, get back to work. Because you're living and you're growing. And you've exhausted your potential. And you are a star. You are shining. You are performing at a high level. They still talking about you got potential when you 24 years old, 37 years old. You ain't got no dang on potential. You're wasted potential. You're wasted energy. You've already gone past the point where that potential should have already have been matured and put into place. This is what I'm trying to share with you people. This is what I'm trying to say about being intentional in our behaviors. Don't let our life kill us. Make sure that we're paying attention to the things that require our intention. Financially, in order for you to make steps and grow with your money, I don't care if you want to make a business. I don't care if you want to get a raise, or as RKS said, move into a new job, start a new career, until you pay attention to it and become intentional in your behavior and your walk to achieve it and get closer to it, then you're just saying words. I don't know no Gabes. Poor habits and overthinking can absolutely ruin you. Overthinking can be major because overthinking stops us. It gets us stuck. When we overthink, we end up comparing ourselves to people who have already been through the process that we're beginning. And then we have this belief that in order for us to get started, we need to be where they already are. They didn't start there. And so we think about it and think about it and think about it. And we try to figure out, how do we get there? I need to be there already. No, you don't. You have to get started. It starts with repetition. It starts with just getting up and getting started on that thing. You want to start investing money? You want to learn how to budget your money? Daily, you need to go into your bank account and move $1. Move $2. Move it. Put it somewhere where you're not going to use it. I don't mean just move it all. I'll move this over to my savings. You can, but you have to also make sure you're not going back in there to touch it. If you know that you want to move $2 a day into an investment vehicle, into a wealth building opportunity for you, if you know you want to move $2 a day and you know you don't get paid for 2 weeks, then you know you need to be able to move $28. I'm not just talking about on the weekdays, I'm talking about on the weekends too, because you wake up and you live on weekends too. I need to move $2 a day. You get an energy drink every day. You get your coffee, you get your cigarette, whatever it is, you got that thing you do one of every day. Why not pay into your future every day? How do we go away from just doing things to taking actions that are valuable for us? We have to make sure that it matters enough to do it. When you go in your bank account, and you know you got 5 days until your next paycheck drop, and you got $13, and you know you have to move $2 a day, that means you can't spend $5 on your lunch. You have to make that thing intentional. It has to be first. And then you have to be willing to take the steps necessary to do it. It's not a sacrifice, it's a decision. You're not sacrificing energy drinks. You're not sacrificing your coffee. You're not sacrificing, oh, I gotta have my gum. Oh, I gotta have my sandwich. Oh, you know me, I gotta have my breakfast bites. You're not sacrificing it. You're making an intentional decision to take action and pay attention to the thing that you say is important. Otherwise, you are allowing your comfort to kill you. Oh, I'm good. I don't need that. Okay, then you ain't got it. You ain't gonna get it. We have got to stop making excuses for why we haven't achieved where we want to be. If you don't care about where you are, stop complaining about where other people are. Stop talking about rich people. Stop looking down on others. You don't care enough about yourself to look at you and make sure you're where you want to be. Think about where you are, and is this where you want to be? Are these the actions you want to take? Is this how you want to live? You're not prepared to take those steps to make sure you're in the right place for you, but constantly judging and looking at others. We can't live that way. I can't live that way. I don't see your life. I don't see what you do day to day. But I do know if we're out here and we watch it on a regular basis, I care enough about my outcome and your outcome to share. I'm not here to put you down. I'm not here to insult you. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to let you know that I've walked the walk of these poor behaviors and I've seen where it's gotten me. And I know that we have to have habit change. We have to have behavior change. And it starts with being intentional about what we pay attention to. Thank you so much. I'm in Maryland, guys. Thank you, Oklahoma. Thank you, dangerous guy. Okay, hey, guys, I'm saying this because when I walked through this process on my own, I watched for years as my money just found its way into other people's pockets. And I didn't put any of it into my future. And I mean, started taking small steps. I mean, starting at, hey man, can I afford $3 a day? I was on a phone call the other day, and the person on the other end, they tell me, they're like, man, I got to go over my finances. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, I have this thing. I'm starting to notice that I have these things that are piling up for me. And one of the things that is happening that's piling up for me is that I owe people. And I have this recurring charge on my account. And this recurring charge is $60 a month. $60 a month. And I said, man, that's a lot of money. They said, yeah, it is a lot of money. I said, why don't you just give me that $60 a month? You don't know where it's going. I said, at least I'd do something with it. Look, if you give it to me, I'll give you something back. I said, man, I ain't giving you no $60 a month. I said, okay, don't give me $60 a month. Just let me get $3 a day. I might be able to do $3 a day, but I can't give you no $60 a month. Really? This is what I'm talking about, of paying attention to what your intention is. $3 a day is $90. You don't want to write me a $60 check once a month, but you're prepared to give me $3 a day. I'm telling you, when I found out, I was trying to say, hey, I'm gonna save $500. I need to save $150. And I'm trying to put this money to the side. And then I sit aside $150 and I start living my life. I run out of paycheck before I run out of week. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I got this $150 that I've set to the side, but I got this lifestyle that needs $175. So now I got a credit card. So I got this $150. It's still sitting there, but I use this credit card to spend $175. $150 ain't worth jack no more. I owe more than that on this card now. So how did I become intentional? One, had to stop using them. Just stop. Cole, you don't have these finances in your life. Dude, you don't have them. You can't pay your bills with credit cards. That's juggling debt. You have to be intentional. You have to pay attention to what you do with intention. I intentionally want to improve my financial standings. So I started moving. All right, can I do $2? Started small. Hey man, I'm gonna do $5 a week. If I do $5 a week, that's $20 a month. I do $20 a month, that's gonna give me $240 a year. I get to the end of the year, I'm gonna give myself a 10% bonus. And I'm gonna put $24 on top of it. So I find myself going into the next year with $264. Here's the thing. When you start doing it, And you start doing it in small increments. It's like anything else. You start to see it grow. You start off with saying, hey man, I want to do $5 a week. That's what I want to do. I want to do $5 a week. By the time you get to the end of the year, it's 52.2 weeks in a year. You get to the end of the year and you're like, hey man, you find yourself at the end of a pay cycle. You're like, man, I put that $5 in there. That thing's starting to look good. That thing got up to $50. You're like, look, I'm gonna throw a quick 50 on top of that 50. That thing's starting to grow. Plus, I'm gonna still do my $5 move for the week. You get to the end of the year, you're expecting to have $250, maybe $260 in there. But because you started doing this thing with repetition, with intention, you look up, you done set aside $530, $450. You've exceeded the expectation because you've got it started and you are acting with intention and you are paying attention. Oh, we about to get started now. Dude, I did that. I ain't even feel it. What else can I do with my money? You start paying attention to not only where you're losing money when you spend it, but where am I losing money before I get it? Taxes, what? They're hitting me up for a percentage. You look at your taxes and you say, wait a minute. I paid $2,600 this year in federal taxes? Nah, I don't like that. What do I have to do? Put your money here. If you put your money here, it's a tax break. Open this type of account, move your money here, tell the federal government that's where you're putting it. It's a pre-tax investment, meaning your income is reduced before you even get started. Y'all don't care. Y'all don't want to hear. You can't get there unless you decide to start getting there. You can't get there unless you're intentional. You have to pay attention. And you have to take intentional action. As long as we're out here and we're taking actions based off of what someone else says versus our intention to achieve, based off of what we feel versus what we study and we know, we'll continue to be lost. We'll continue to fall behind. You'll continue to let your life continue to kill you. Your life is killing you because you're not paying attention and you're not taking intentional action. Your money controls you. The people who give you your money control you. You get up and go to work because they told you it's time for you to get up and go to work. Man, I work for myself. So, your job still controls you. You got a bigger headache than the people who work for somebody else because you wanted to start a business and all you did is buy yourself a tougher job. Thank you very much for the flower. We're getting up and we're talking about we want to get somewhere. We want to achieve something. We want to have accomplishments. We want to be able to say that we're getting things done. But we look around and we say we're going to start a business. I've seen too many people. I worked for a company. I worked for a gym in Maryland. Small gym, started by a family, black couple. I worked in this gym for years. And for years, I'm looking at this gym and I'm talking to the owners and I'm saying, you have bought yourself a job. This isn't your business, this is your job. And you have multiple locations and you're working in all of them because you don't have people in place you can trust and you don't have a system. If you lack a system and you don't have people who you can trust, then you are going to have an immense difficulty. You're going to have a tremendous amount of difficulty in trying to achieve your goals. because there's no system at work. And so what you've done is you've gone out and you've invested your money in buying yourself a job, because it don't work if you don't work. You don't have a business if it can't work when you walk away from it. You just have a job. I started my own business. What is it? Lawn care. How many people are employed? Right now, it's me and the kids. Okay. 17 years later, how many people are employed in your business? It's me, my kids, and my grandkids. Okay. 15 years later, how many people are employed in your business? Well, I can't work as much as I used to, but my grandkids are still working. My great-grandkids don't really want to do nothing. They lazy. No, they just don't want the job you had. You didn't start a business. You started a legacy of working hard. You just said we're going to work hard for ourselves. Don't fool yourself or trick yourself into believing that just because you're the person who's signing the check, that you have a business versus a job. You still have a job. It's just more difficult than the previous one you had. It's probably less rewarding. Now you're responsible for the health insurance of 401k. God forbid the tax people show up. They're gonna take all the lawnmowers. So what am I saying? I'm saying that it is fine for you to say that you have something that you want to do and take that action intentionally to achieve that thing. But when we're taking that action and we're saying that's where we want to go, we have to act with intention and attention. We have to pay attention to it. Maybe starting a business ain't your thing. Maybe that's not where you need to be. Maybe what you need to be is learning how to work with discipline and dedication in the job that you have, and then put your money to work for you. We're not all meant to be entrepreneurs. That's the problem, is so many people who are meant to be stewards and to maintain and work and allow their money to work for them think they're supposed to be the boss. And so they keep fighting to get to the top, only to find out they're at the top of a hill that they built. There's nobody else on it. Nobody else is trying to get up that hill. And now you're standing up there and you got to keep building this hill and hollering so people can see you on it, because there's nobody else there. You have just bought yourself a job. My father started a family business in 1962. I was 7 years old before I saw a dad for dinner. He worked all the time. 20 years later, he was a success. It takes many years to build something. It does take many years to build something, but until he built it, like you said, it started in 1962. It wasn't until 1982 that thing turned into something other than a job. I'm not knocking you for getting started and doing something. I'm telling you, until you pay attention with intention, you've just bought yourself another job. I'm not knocking the action. I'm telling you to pay attention with intention. Don't say I want to start a business when you just want to be your own boss. You don't want to start a business. You just don't want to listen to what other people have to say. And this is why so many people go into business and fail, and then they go back to work and they don't like work. Oh, I don't want to. You don't want to listen, you don't want to listen to what other people tell you about checking yourself. When you don't work for nobody else, when you only work for you, you got to check you. So those same behaviors that can keep us from achieving, when somebody else comes to us and said, hey man, you need to check yourself, and you say, you can't tell me how to check me. When you don't work for anybody and you're only accountable to yourself, but you lack accountability, you're going to go out there and you're going to start doing stuff. And when the people around you, the people in the community, the people on the hill that you say you want to climb, start telling you this is not how you get up this hill. This isn't how you do it. So you go build your own hill And you say, I made it to the top of this hill. And they say, ain't nobody trying to be where you are. Ain't nobody trying to work 60 hours a week because they ain't happy with themselves. See, we have to make sure we are paying attention to the actions we take with intention. I'm not knocking hard work. I'm not knocking starting a business. I'm not knocking anything. But what I'm saying to you is make sure you're doing what you're doing because it's the thing that you want to do, and not just doing what you're doing because you don't want to do what you're doing. They're not the same thing. Join the business associations, man. Loneliest thing in the world. Owning your own business. Very lonely. Takes work. What if you have any avenues struggle to pick a single path? I'm not sure what that question is. You have to see it as if you're growing a business, even if you're not making any money than just a job. You have to keep the vision. True, I'm not knocking any of that. Your customers will check you. They'll check you every day, in ways you don't want to check yourself. How do you know we're just not F-ups that can never make it? Because so many people have made it. Because I've made it. I've been there. I've been the F-up. I've been the mistake. Y'all heard me say earlier, man, don't let nobody tell you got potential. Potential simply means that there are things that you could be doing at a higher level and you're not. And people are looking at you and they're saying, man, you got so much potential. I'm looking at you and I'm seeing what you're doing right now, dude. You got so much potential. Raise your hand if when you were young, people told you got potential. Oh, you have so much potential. Man, people don't stop telling you got potential by 16. It's going to start turning into you a waste of time. So you all know we a mess up, a F up, until we make it. My father used to tell me to fail faster. Indeed, Bruce. He said what he meant by that was try as many things as you can because you're not going to be good at but a few. Not as many things as you can. Try as many things as are on the path to where you're going. And then you have to learn to do it. You know what the mistake is, and this is the problem that a lot of people have. Man, when you're good at something and it's easy for you, whoo, do you know how hard it is to make something hard for somebody who's really good at something? We always talk about people, we look at professional athletes and we look at them and we're like, man, they're so talented. They're gifted. I wasn't born, either they were born with those talents. Here's the thing. If you're born and you can run fast, right? All your life, starting from being young, you were faster than everybody in your age group. Everybody who was where you were faster than them. And then somebody said, hey, you can be faster. Excuse me? Yeah, you could train harder. You're naturally fast, but you could be faster. I got older brothers growing up in Washington, D.C. My oldest brother, Tony, used to smoke, drink, like when he was like 12. He was bad. So when he was in high school, there was a guy who was on the track team. Always said he was fast. They used to race down the street in front of the house. My cousin Tony used to smoke him. I mean, just blow, just naturally fast. Somebody said, man, you could be faster. Ah, man. Do you understand when you're really good at something, how hard you have to work to challenge yourself where you are? This is what I'm talking about. When you can When you can run and jump and you have this ability and this agility, you know how hard you have to work to challenge yourself? You know why Kobe had to take 10,000 shots? You know why Kobe and LeBron and Michael Jordan and all of these great athletes, you know why they were there 3 hours before everybody else was there and left 3 hours after everybody else did? Because they were so good, they couldn't challenge themselves. They couldn't challenge their talent level, their ability, and their skill inside of the same window of everybody else. Why? Because I do that. When you're good at something, it's hard to get better. That's what makes it challenging. You have to do the work. You have to pay attention. You have to be intentional in your behaviors. You can't be good at something and then expect to get great at something if you say, well, I'm already good enough. I'm already performing higher than everybody like me. What about people not like you? See, you can have a talent, you can have a skill, but until you apply it, until you do the work to sharpen it and to grow it and to tighten it up, it's not going to have the same high return, because when you're good at something, you have to invest more of yourself in it to make yourself better at it. You have to work out longer and harder. You have to focus on more ways to challenge yourself, to see yourself grow, because you're good at it. And then you have to be aware, self-aware. You have to be intentional on improving yourself. Guys, I'm sharing this with you because I understand and I've had this journey and I've traveled this path, and I'm letting you know, when it comes to your finances, when it comes to looking at your money and making investments and making decisions and deciding that, hey, I understand that there's work that I need to do, but I'm going to do that work. You are focusing on your growth. Bruce says, an average man outsmoke a talented man just with his attention to detail and desire to be the best. Many an average man is the boss of the company because of what the guy's saying, intention. Sorry for my spelling, I'm talking into this thing. I understand, Bruce. Intentional choices, intentional behaviors, intentional actions. We have to pay attention to it, and then we have to act with intention. The people around you are not getting into the places that we want to be. If you're in your job and you're not where you want to be, you're not seeing what you want to see, you're not getting the promotions that you want to see, it is not because somebody is out to get you and to stop you. It's because there is a path that you need to pay attention to, and you need to act on it with intention. Okay, fine, this isn't my company. This isn't my job. This isn't my metrics. This isn't my business. This isn't my office, but I'm working here and I want to be here. What's the pathway? If the company that you work for can't tell you how to get to the next place that you want to be in that company, they don't have a system. Find another job. It's that simple. If you're working a job and you want to be somewhere else within your job, you want to move up in that job, and the company that you work for cannot say to you, hey, here's what you can do to move up in this job. Here's the actions you can take to get to the next place. That company has no system. They're just doing things. If the owner of the business works with you and you see the owner of this business every day, you might want to start asking questions about, hey man, how can I help you not be here anymore? Because did you start this to have a job? Because if you started this business because you wanted to work here, I don't want to work here. Because I can never be the boss, because you're never going to leave. And when you do leave, the business is going to die. I don't want to work for you if you want to work for you. I need to be working somebody else, somewhere else. Hope says exactly 100%. Find another job to learn and grow towards your goals. You have to. It is important to understand when we start talking about development, when we start talking about growth, and we start taking a look at our own lives, and we start talking about what we want to do. When you want to start talking about your finances, it does not start with how much money you make. It starts with how many decisions you make and how you make them. Your behaviors have to be correct. Starts with discipline. Discipline has 4 pillars. It's so simple. It's repetition, patience, consistency, and perseverance. First, you must start doing this thing over and over. And for so many people, we're going to our job and we can't get to being consistent at our job because it's just repetition. We've gotten to a point in our job where it doesn't seem like there's any way forward. There's no way up. There's no way out of here. That's a dead-end job. And so we just show up. We don't care. And so it's just the repetition of showing up and pushing the paper and hitting the button that they say push. If there's not a path for you to grow, because it is a part of human nature to want to grow, which is why the term dead-end job exists. It simply means I'm working a job that doesn't give me the opportunity to grow. Thank you, Bruce. Hope. The owner working doesn't have a system in place. If he or she still has to clock in. And that's the problem. People, one, I want to let you know I am in no way criticizing you or saying that you lack the ability to be able to do anything in your life. I am saying that we have to pay attention. We have to be aware. We have to ask questions. We have to seek answers. And we have to act with intention in our lives to get to where we're going. And if you don't have anywhere that you're going, then don't be upset when other people, when they're not trying to help you get there. You ain't going nowhere. We have to accept that part of it. We have to understand that everything that we're doing in our life, all of the work that we're trying to do, all of the places that we're going are going to require for us to be a part of the process. I want to thank everybody for being here this morning. I want to thank you for being a part of this walk and talk. I want to thanks for letting you share. Remember, don't let your life kill you. Stop letting the things that you don't want to do, the things you don't want to pay attention to. Stop letting comfort and complacency. Stop letting things that you don't want to seek the answers for kill you. Stop letting them keep you from living your life and growing. Growth is essential to who we are as a species. I want to thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for joining me on the walk and talk. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day as always. We're going to be here. We're going to show up. We're going to share. Bruce, have to run soon. Thank you very much for stopping in, Bruce, being a part of the walk and talk. Get out, enjoy that run. Nothing. Dang, bruh. Thank you very much for the gift. Oh, that's the first time I'm seeing that one. Pretty cool. Thank you for that. I appreciate the cat gift. Thank you. On the poll, guys, the poll says, what is draining your life right now? 44% of people said poor habits. 44% said poor habits, guys. So we understand that poor habits come from not paying attention to our decisions, not paying attention and acting with intention on our behaviors. That means we have habits, that we have behaviors that we take that we don't think about it. Today, guys, that is my call to action for you. That is my challenge for you. I want you guys to take care and have a great day. But my challenge for you is identify that habit. Identify that habit you have of doing or not doing a thing and intentionally make a change today. Just change just one. You don't have to try to fix everything in your life today, but identify that one thing. If it's not waking up, if it's not getting out of bed, if it's hitting the snooze button too many times, if it's eating that snack when you're not really hungry, your hands are chimp empty, whatever it is, if it's spending money where you don't need to, if it's knowing that you're paying for subscriptions that you don't need to be paying, whatever that thing is, take a look at it. And start working on that one habit. Take the next 7 days As we go into the next year, you don't have to create a New Year's resolution. Let's create a new week's resolution. Let's create our resolution for going into next week. And let's do better. Let's make change. Let's see growth. This is how we get started, people. Let's start paying attention and acting with intention and stop letting our life kill us and start living our life to our fullest. Get control of the mind. And you do it by paying attention and acting with intention. Thank you so much for being here this morning, guys. I appreciate you participating and being a part. I appreciate you sharing and allowing for me to share this time with you. Remember, if you haven't done so yet, please drop a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. We appreciate you. We appreciate all your efforts. Keep in mind, guys, that discipline has 4 pillars. It's repetition, just getting started. Patience, understand that's the learning process. Consistency, when you must be able to answer to yourself why you're doing it so you can continue to do it. And perseverance is the part of you that grows. It's salting of the soul that allows for you to go through what you have to go through so you can be who you need to be when you see what it is that you want to see. And this is how we get through and achieve anything that we pursue with discipline is guaranteed to see success as we work towards mastery. Guaranteed, people. As always, keep showing up, keep blowing up, keep growing up. Until next time, guys, take care. God bless. Have a great Friday and a wonderful weekend.